Hi, I'm Tiffany Youngren from Transfer of Health. Welcome to the VIP food group. We're really excited to be here this morning, right?
Yes, very.
I'm Tiffany Youngren, and this is my mother-in-law, Sandy, and our friend Emily's here too. You can't see her, but hi, Emily, I can see her. So, okay, well, let's get started. Miranda is normally with us on Saturday mornings, but every once in a while she works at the nursing home as an activity assistant, and that is what she's doing today. So she's using her time very well, but she will be missed. So. Here we're going to work together, and our goals are to get rid of pain, have more energy, and by accomplishing this, we're also losing weight. So I would say that within the first 10 weeks, losing 20 pounds is a very reasonable thing to happen if you're following all these things. But the nice thing is that we're focusing on getting rid of pain and having more energy, so we get more of a quick success, feeling of success. So Zig Ziglar once said, people often say that motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing, and that's why we recommend it daily. So I encourage you to hit us up often, because we're just really eager to help. We love talking about food and planning and eating great. And so just email or comment or follow us on Facebook and interact there. However you prefer to do it, we are here and excited to talk about it. So today what we're going to do, we're going to review our goals to celebrate successes and make changes where needed. We're going to talk about where to shop, so we can save money and get the best produce. We're going to enjoy a fun little cooking demonstration. Today we're doing tortilla forming. I've put some tortilla dough, super easy dough to make. It's 3 ingredients, masa, which is super easy to get. I know it sounds really fancy, but it's really not. Bob's Red Mill makes it gluten-free. So masa, harina, and water and salt. It doesn't get much easier than that. So the dough has to sit for an hour, so it's sitting, and we'll be doing a demo for that. We're going to reveal a couple recipes we want to try, and then we'll break out our main food groupings so that we can create our meal plans. We'll plot our food and fitness plan and schedule it as part of our calendar. And then at the end, we'll be answering any questions. So if you have any questions, be sure to comment on our webpage, or you can also mention on Twitter and mention @transferhealth, #VIP, and we'll answer questions at the end there as well. So that's the agenda. That's what we're doing. So if you're watching this live, be sure to post your questions, and we'll go through that at the end. So first, let's talk about goals. We have a goal sheet, and it looks something like this. If you subscribe to our email list, every email has a link to our goal sheet and our menu planner. So this is an interactive time. So grab your menu planner and your goal sheet, and we'll get started. So first of all, now Emily, this is your first week on the goal tracker, right? So okay, so basically what we do, I'll just kind of talk about how to use it, and then next week we'll kind of review it again.
Mine at home on the fridge.
Hey, that's a great place to keep
Yes,
it.
it is. Yes, it is.
So awesome. So basically, name, starting date, starting weight, and then your desired weight. That's not, again, our weight isn't our focus, but it's good to track, because that's really ultimately, we can't stay off the scale, so we'll be real about it. Height, and then the recommended water, we try to drink at least half of our body weight in ounces. So, if you're 160 pounds, then you would want 80 ounces of water each day. And that's on just a regular day. So if you do a lot of extra activity or anything like that, you'll want to increase that. So you'll put the recommended water in that you want per day. And then over on the right, it says goals. So the daily ounces of water and goals, and how many days a week. The number of workouts that you want to do. Minutes. So the first each day, how many minutes you want to work out, and then how many days per week you want to work out. And then number of vegetables. So how many servings of vegetables each day, and obviously 7 days a week. And then mood. We want to track our mood each day. So I know in one day we might have several moods, but I would say just generalize for the day. So it's like, yesterday, I was having winter blues or something like that. Then I give myself, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 is low, kind of bad mood, and 10 is a great mood. It's like off the charts. And then pain. I put back pain on mine. I don't have back pain, but I have knee pain. So I would change that to knee pain. And normally when we do pain, we do it on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is no pain and 10 is extreme pain. But for the purpose of goal tracking, we do it reverse because when we use this, if we actually, there's an electronic version of it. And so at the end of the month, if we enter it into the worksheet, it actually spits out a chart. And so if we do pain is low is good, then and all the other graphs are high, it just looks bad. Like emotionally, I feel like, why is it going down? I want it to go up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, so we just reverse it. So when we're looking at it and evaluating it for the end of the day, we say 1 is, what is it? 1 is a lot of pain and 10 is no pain. So 10 is I feel great and 1 I feel like I have a lot of pain. So we track those. And then each week we just go, and each day, we go week by week and then day by day, just how many ounces of water we do, how many minutes we worked out, number of servings for vegetables, the mood 1 to 10, pain 1 to 10. And then at the end of the month, like I said, anybody who can get onto Excel and use that goal tracker, you'll be able to see week by week how your progress is. So I'm a visual person, so I like to see, and I'm a statistics person, obviously. I mean, Pi Day was yesterday, and I just thought it was Christmas, so I'm just nerdy like that. Okay, so that's the goal sheet. So, yeah, so we can update that. And then let's just kind of talk about it. Now, you've been doing this for about a month, and then how long have you changed how you're eating and fitness and things like that?
I would say about the same.
Okay. And would you say you have more pain now or less pain?
Oh, less pain.
Yeah?
Less pain. I'm able to jump out of bed in the morning. I used to have to roll over and try to push out.
Oh, man.
And my husband says I'm walking faster now.
Oh, nice.
So,
That's
more
awesome.
limber.
That's awesome. Do you guys notice any mood changes? I mean, or not? I mean, it's hard when we're not, because I don't.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm usually a pretty up person,
Mhm.
but not to have the pain of walking,
Right.
because I had intense pain, and my pain is just about 100% better.
Oh, good.
So obviously it makes you feel
Put
better.
you in
You
a
go,
better mood.
wow. Even if the weight isn't dropping off, but
Right.
it's slow.
Right.
But the pain is huge.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
good.
it's huge.
Good. Okay. So that's very successful. So that's
Good.
good motivation to get into the
Yeah.
planning part of things. So now our meal planning goals each week, and Emily, you've heard this 100 times, but I'm just going to say it again. Our meal planning goals in general on the food portion is that we eat about 45% vegetables and 30% fruit. So that is 75% total of fruits and vegetables. But we just really want to be diligent about eating more vegetables. And then rice or legumes, depending on what kind of meal plan you're on, I don't know, paleo has a little bit different rules in this area, but we are about 15% rice and beans, about 7% meat. And the nice thing about that is it really helps. A lot of people, portion size is really difficult to manage. And so by just being really diligent about not eating a lot of meat, then it helps with the portion size. Then we're trying to get in more vegetables and things like that. And then 3% other foods, which would be foods with kind of more than one ingredient. So when we have these chips that we buy that are gluten-free, and that would be considered a cheap food. Or if we go out and we have a fancy dessert, we need to leave a little room for eating yummy stuff. But and then go ahead.
Excuse me. So it's 45% combo of fruit and vegetables, or 45 vegetables.
45% fruit or vegetables. I'm sorry, and 30% fruit. So it's a total of 75% fruits and vegetables. Oh yeah, good question. And then we talked about our water goal already, and exercise goal. What are your guys' exercise goals?
Okay, and back to the water real quick.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I was getting lots of water, and I started marking it down on this sheet here, and I was like 16 ounces low,
Oh wow.
which I didn't realize because I'm always drinking water, so that helped. I was like,
good.
okay, increase that water.
Good.
And exercise goals, we joined a gym,
Yay.
and so we do take senior strength training, and we're also going to go for yoga twice a week, I think. So
Oh,
3
fun.
times, twice a week strength training, 1 Zumba, and twice yoga.
Oh, that's
you
so
know.
awesome.
So it's fun. We're having fun doing it in
Yes.
our group, as well as we notice the difference.
Oh,
We
good.
notice the flexibility,
That's awesome.
and it's just fun doing it. It makes us feel good. It makes the body feel good.
Good. That's awesome. Well, and I mean, that really leads back to scheduling your workout. So I know for me, I'm kind of trapped in the house. I work a lot. And so I work out at home. I have DVDs, or I'll just look up some workout that I need to do, or Miranda will just tell me what to do, or something like that. But if I don't schedule the days and the times on my actual calendar, then it just doesn't happen. And that's actually what happened this last week is I didn't do my schedule and I didn't work out. So basically, if you think here is our planning day, so it's a good time to pull out your calendar and start thinking about that. We'll have some time at the end where we will schedule things like shopping and exercise and things like that. Right now, just be thinking about how many times a week you want to work out, what kind of workout you want to do, what works for you in your lifestyle. So those are our goals. So let's talk about shopping. Where we shop is Costco is our first trip because they're generally the least expensive and we can get it in bulk. And when you eat this much vegetables, you need to get it in bulk. It gets frustrating having to go back to the grocery store all the time and get more and more, especially when we live really far from the grocery store like we do. I know a lot of people, if you're online watching this, you probably don't, you're not like out and about and run into the store every 5 minutes either. You're probably at home watching this. And so Costco's nice because if they have it and it's organic, then that's our first choice. Walmart, we actually shop at as well. And I say this every week. I know that, there's some frustration around Walmart and all that type of thing. But the top priority is that my family is healthy, that we're eating healthy food. And the fact of the matter is we don't have really great access to produce around here that affordably. I mean, we can go down to the local grocery store and pay a fortune, but, who's got that kind of money, right? I mean, we have to eat every day, not, just one day a week. So Walmart's, and they actually are, I think, having a big push on eating, having organic vegetables and things like that. So when you walk in, I like when you walk in and there's just like this really beautiful, healthy, colorful produce, and they have had that lately. So that's about all we buy there, but we do get a lot of vegetables there. Our next stop is usually natural grocers or some type of co-op or natural store to get our specialty foods. If it's not super expensive, if there's something that we have that we need a lot of, like masa harina, it takes 2 cups to make 1 batch of tortillas. And so we do get that online at Amazon.com. So if we run into some kind of flour or shelf-stable item that we need a lot of that at the natural grocery store it's too expensive or the local grocery store doesn't have on hand, we do go online and buy it in bulk. Usually we can get like 4 packs of it for a lot cheaper and then get free shipping and things like that. And so we look for deals like that so that we do have those kind of things on hand. So Amazon.com is another good resource. And then, of course, the grocery store. So, and then one thing that happens too is we notice the grocery store might have something that is less expensive, and we'll make a special trip to the grocery store just because it's a local business and we're into local businesses.
Our request.
Yeah.
Like the jicama.
Right. Yeah, last week Sandy shared about how we love jicama, like our whole family loves it. And so she went into the store, our local grocery store, and they didn't have it. And so she actually went to the produce department and asked that they carry it, and they did. So that was very cool.
Emily
I love it. Oh, Emily did too.
And she loves
good.
jicama. You really hadn't had a lot of jicama before.
Well, back in the 70s, I used to eat it all the time. Not recently.
Yeah.
I just love it.
So it kind of reintroduced it.
Yeah. And we got some other people interested locally too, and so now he's going to
From the gym.
Nice.
Start ordering 10 pounds
Yeah,
a week.
that's right.
Of course.
Nice. That is so awesome. So if there's a vegetable that you like, make sure that if you want your local grocery store to carry it, that you just ask them, because sometimes that just works. So, and then the recipes for the week, I handed out the homemade corn tortilla recipe. Later today, we will be doing a demo on forming the tortillas. Again, it's very, very simple, and it's available on it's available on transferofhealth.com, so look it up. And then also I will be putting a link on the VIP webpage, the planning webpage for today, a link to another recipe that we're going to try, which is a dairy-free fettuccine Alfredo. And then the soup of the week. I will be putting the soup of the week. Honestly, I don't know what it is
Cool.
yet.
Very
So
cool.
yeah. And then did I give you a copy of the protein bar recipe?
Yes, last time.
Okay, good.
I don't
Here, I'll
think-
give you
I don't
one.
think I-
And I haven't posted online. That also is one of the recipes of the week that we will be posting. So, hey, could you hand me one and I'll just kind of, or yeah, the plate. Thank you. We have some today at our meal planning session that Miranda made last night and Dwayne cut up today. And so if you are able to come here live, be sure to make a note, contact me somehow, and we'll get you seat reserved here. We've got all sorts of snacks every week for that. So, okay. So those are the recipes for the week. And then also Miranda will be posting a smoothie of the week as well. That's kind of her
Oh,
pet
that
thing.
is really
So she's
good.
crazy about smoothies, and that girl can find really good smoothie recipes. So we'll be posting that as well this week. So watch for that. So let's plot the plan. Again, and we talk about this each week. It's less important as well. Actually, let's talk about the plan. The meal planning template looks something like this. Again, there's a link on the emails that go out each week. Every week, I include a link to the meal planning template. That's exactly what we use when we plan it on Saturday morning. So we're going to take that out. And I just wanted to say that it's less important about sticking exactly to this plan throughout the week. I know sometimes, some people can, I can't. It's not for, I don't know why, but it just helps me get an idea of what kind of foods to have available. If I run home and I'm like, what did I have planned for today? I can look at this. But if there's a day that is just different and we didn't know what was happening, then we do something else and we zig instead of zagging. It's just nice to have this. I measure success by knowing what kinds of foods I wanted to make that week, that I made them, not that I exactly stuck to this plan. So the more that you can define your success based on how your lifestyle is, the more happy you're going to be about it, and the longer you're going to stick with it, because we're not going to beat ourselves up. So, okay, so when we plot the plan, we do food groupings, and that way, on the days that I cook, I know what I'm going to cook or prepare. And what I want is 2 salads, 4 main entrees, a rice dish, a soup, and then vegetables, a list of vegetables, or a general idea of how I'm going to buy the vegetables, and then our quick foods. So let's start at the top. Let's see here. Oh, and snacks too. So 2 salads. Always have a green salad on the top of our list. So this week is no different than all others. We just have to have a green salad. That's the way it is. So green salad and a vinaigrette.
Be like you say, it can simply be spinach and a vinaigrette if you keep it very simple.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or, that is a great way to start. And that is a lot of times what we do, just because you don't need to be impressed by our salad. But even if you cut something up like a bell pepper or something, it adds some color, and you just kind of, your eyes get to see something pretty instead of just green. So a lot of times I'll just look at the food and go, I need a different color on there than besides green. So, and what happens is when you cook like that, it actually tastes better too. So it works out good. But that's usually a go-to is bell peppers. Or radishes. Or jicama.
Yeah.
Exactly. Or strawberries. That's really good too. And then a balsamic. We either use a balsamic or nothing. Like that's what we use usually is a balsamic. And then our second salad is going to be our pea and quinoa salad. And there's a recipe on Transfer of Health, and then it's in that packet that I gave you too. So the pea and quinoa, it's got kind of a mustard vinaigrette too. So the pea and quinoa salad.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, it's very good. And it's getting to be spring, and so we're going to use frozen peas. But it makes me feel like spring's coming, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. I need to feel like spring's coming. So those are our 2 salads, or our 2 salads, yeah. And then 4 main entrees. We have 2 red meats, 1 fish, and 1 chicken or other dish. So it could be chicken or it could be a vegetarian dish. And this week we are going to, instead of chicken, do the dairy-free fettuccine Alfredo. So that's not really chicken, but that's what we're doing. And then the rice dish, once a week, I make a huge pot of rice. And then I toss it with olive oil, and then we just put it in the fridge in containers. And then we add, 9 times out of 10, we add our entree from our dinner and whatever sauce comes with that protein. So when we have the fettuccine alfredo, probably we'll put it on rice. When I make soup, we put it on rice. I mean, usually whatever we cook, we put it on rice. Or if we don't have anything like that, or the one day we have roast, it comes with a fantastic sauce and it's phenomenal on rice. So again, it's just whatever we have, we throw it on rice. And the other thing is that if we don't have anything like that, we'll toss Bragg's liquid aminos on it. It tastes like soy sauce. So it's delicious. So that's our other go-to. And because we toss it in olive oil before we refrigerate it, one is it doesn't clump together as much, but the other is the liquid Bragg's spreads around it better. Otherwise, it just all just sinks to the bottom. Of
Hard to
the
get it
container.
mixed in.
Yeah, exactly. So the bottom's like really seasoned and the top has nothing. It's got no flavor. But when you oil it first, it kind of sticks better. So, okay. And then the soup, like I said, I don't know what our soup of the week is, but I will have that posted by the end of today. So, soup du jour. And then vegetables. The way that we do it, I don't write the vegetables that I'm going to have on my meal plan because we're going to go shopping and we look for 4 vegetables. Well, actually 4 or more green vegetables specifically, and they need to be dark leafy green vegetables. So cucumbers don't count as a dark vegetable because usually the peel comes off and it's white. So, and then, but we do have, we've been getting things like broccoli and asparagus and spinach and kale and what else? I don't know, whatever looks good. If we show up and the asparagus looks terrible, we don't get asparagus and we get something else. That's why I like to just generalize it because whatever looks really good is probably in season, especially if it's inexpensive, and that's what we want.
Asparagus now is in season.
I bet it looks really pretty.
Yeah, it does.
Nice.
It does.
Okay, and then we want to get 3 or more other vegetables. So lately we've been obsessed with cauliflower and celeriac or celery root, and we have some now, so we won't be buying it, but that will be on our menu this week is a puree of those 2 things because it's so good. But, you know, we also get cucumbers. We just can't live without cucumbers. And bell peppers. What else have we been getting lately? I don't know, again, just whatever looks really, fennel looks really good right now too, so. And then fruits that look good. We don't really spaz out about, we got to make sure we get this many fruits because it's easy to buy fruit because it's like dessert. So we basically just get fruit and then throughout the week we just make sure we have fruit on hand. So, so that's
coming into the berry season very slowly. Yeah, so like strawberries and
nice. I'm so excited. I love spring. And then apples, we can't live without apples. And then pineapple, we eat a lot of pineapple also. What kind of fruits do you guys have?
You know, we just recently got pears. We got fresh strawberries. We always have apples on hand. And of course, bananas.
Oh yes,
Yeah, we
bananas.
like
Can't live
bananas.
without bananas. How
I
about you?
like frozen blueberries.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we do always have, we have the frozen mixed berries, frozen strawberries, and frozen blueberries. We do always have those on hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh good. Okay. So
Yeah, those are
Makes it
good.
easy.
Yeah.
see. Okay, good. And then snacks. We always have protein bars, whether we make them ourselves or whether we buy them. We're trying to make them ourselves right now because they're so expensive and it's hard to get them without 4,000 ingredients. And, you know, I just have a thing about, I feel like it's junk food if it has more than 4 ingredients.
And it could be.
Yeah, and there's all these, if it has anything, one thing that is so important is reading labels. So if you get anything that's not, I mean, fruit, vegetable, and a meat, it's easy because there's one ingredient. But when you start getting into anything with more, if you look at the label and you don't know what an ingredient is, you don't want to get it, or it counts as the 3%. You know, if you know, it's like, oh, look, this has corn, and if it's corn, make sure it's organic. It's got, you know, like
Exactly.
3 ingredients and you have it in your kitchen, then it's, you know, I don't think it's as much of a junk food, but if it has anything else that you can't read, or if it has sugar in it, it's a junk food. If it has honey, we consider it a superfood because that's the whole
It's
allergy
guilt-free.
thing.
It's fun to have guilt-free snacks.
Exactly. And then
Yeah.
maple syrup also we eat, but it's a little bit more of a cheat, but because honey has so many health benefits. But and then we do eat stevia too. That is a sweetener that we use. So anyway, so protein bars and then granola. We make our own homemade granola. And muffins. Lately we've been every week wanting some kind of new muffin recipe, and you've been supplying them for us lately. So we'll be sure to start posting those online as Miranda makes them, and
Cool.
we can do that. So, and then we also roast vegetables. Typically, this time of week is a great time to roast vegetables because we're getting ready to shop, and the vegetables from last week are looking, like it's what's left over. Usually, it's the stuff nobody wants to eat. Broccoli is a great example. We almost always, when we buy broccoli the next week, there's always broccoli left over. And we buy a huge bag too, but I don't like to eat it at work because it gets stuck in my teeth and stuff. But when it's roasted, it's delicious. It's so good that it goes like candy. So by this time of the week, when everything starts looking nasty, we just wash it up, cut it up, whatever it is. It could be broccoli. Make sure again that you look at color. So even if I had a big thing of broccoli out. We were out of bell peppers because we ran out of those really quickly. But we had some tomatoes. And so when you roast tomatoes with your vegetables, make sure that you cut them up and then take the goo out of the middle because those will steam your vegetables. They won't roast. And so if you cut out the inside and give them to the chickens and then cut them up, it makes it so beautiful. And then it also doesn't make your vegetables steamy. They're still able to get nice and roasted, and they're delicious. Especially, and then every time I roast the leftover vegetables, I grab a nice onion or garlic and just chop it up real quick, and then just lay it out and cook it at 425 until it's roasted
with
some olive oil, exactly, and salt and pepper. And at 20 minutes, I'll usually toss it. And if it looks done, then I'll take it out. But usually I have to toss it and then bake it again because you want it to get nice and brown. And because it gets that toasty flavor. So without it, it doesn't really have that magical candy-like quality. so that's what we do. So you turn like kind of crummy-looking old vegetables into like this awesome thing that everybody wants to eat right away. So that, and actually we use it as a snack and as a side. So let's go ahead and plan the menu. We just planned our food group, so we generally know what we're going to have. So let's take a look at the meal plan template. First, as we do it, the first thing I do is figure out what days I'm going to shop. Again, we live kind of far away and far out, and our family's super busy, and I know you guys have certain days that you like to go shopping. So let's just kind of schedule that out. So I'd like everybody to just write down what days, probably 2 shopping days that work. There's usually a big shopping day and then a follow-up shopping day a couple days later when we're just out of stuff. For us, it's Monday and Wednesday because we're in Billings those days. Billings is about 45 minutes from us, and we work there, but there are 2 nights a week that we're there for an extended length of time that gives us a perfect opportunity to shop. So Monday and Wednesdays we shop, and then the next thing we're going to do is look at our main cooking days. Again, if you have a very busy schedule, it's unreasonable to think that you are going to sit down and make a roast every night or, things like that. You want to plan out what meals are going to take a little more effort and what days do you have a little bit of extra time to cook those meals. For me, my cooking days are on Tuesday. It's kind of what is happening here? Tuesday is kind of a light cooking day. And then Thursday is a decent cooking day. So I could probably make 1 or 2 main meals on Thursday. And then, of course, Saturday and Sunday are my main prepping and cooking days. So I'll do the roasting the vegetables, and I'll do the rice. And so those really are my heaviest days. Usually it's one day or the other, but I try to split it up so that I don't have all that heavy prepping one day. But if we are doing something fun, then it's only one day. And we do fun stuff a lot. So, and then Sunday, I take the meat out to thaw because the red meat days we do, we need to take them out and thaw. So let's talk about the meals now. Our 2 red meat days, one is usually a ground meat day, and one is either a roast or a steak. And so on Monday we're going to have our ground meat day because I'll be able to prep the ground meat the day before because we're going to have sausages again this week. Homemade sausages again. There's a recipe on Transfer of Health for homemade sausage, and you can use any kind of meat. We use wild game because we have freezers full of wild game. We live in Montana. That's how it rolls. So, and we love it. But so on Monday we'll have sausage. Sunday I'll prep for that. On Tuesday, now Monday's a shopping day. We're going to get fish, and then on Tuesday we're going to eat the fish so that it's as fresh as possible. And Monday, when we get home at 10:30 from shopping, we won't have time to cook the fish. On Wednesday, it's a super busy day. We get home again about 10 o'clock at night. So we're going to have one of our fast foods. And our fast foods are the foods that doesn't take us very long to cook. And so we can come home late and still have dinner, frankly.
Mm-hmm.
And so we want to make sure that we have things on hand for those nights. Our 2 fast foods this week are going to be, again, spaghetti. The pasta, it's gluten-free pasta and jarred marinara, and we usually add a little bit of salt if needed, a little bit of oregano, basil, just really kind of, and we add cayenne because I like it. I like the heat, but it just kind of makes it, freshens it up a little bit. So we'll have that on Wednesday. Thursday is going to be our roast day, and I have the luxury of a pressure cooker, which I'm absolutely in love with. It's probably, thank you, Mom, by the way. I know you're out there. You gave it to me, so I appreciate it.
Wow.
But it's like one of my favorite cooking things ever because we love roast, and we love slow cooked roast where you stick it, we sear it, and then we stick it in the pan with some wine and stuff and just let it slow cook in the old days. But now with our pressure cooker, it's 1 hour, and it is better. It is better
Tender.
and crock pot too. Like we've done the crock pot, we've done the slow cook in the oven. And man, when we use the pressure cooker, it's like I have never made a roast like this before, and it's in
Fast.
1 hour. Yeah.
Fast.
If you use the pressure cooker, you have to read the manufacturer's instructions for how much time you cook the different meats because it varies by manufacturer to manufacturer. So I will be, in fact, I've got my post for how to do a pressure cooked roast halfway done, ready to post on Transfer of Health. So I will be posting that in the next couple days. But and then we put wine and oil, and sometimes we'll put vegetables in, but usually not because I found that it's the moistest when it's just the meat. So anyway, we will have that on Thursday. So I'm sorry if you don't have all day to roast, but the pressure cooker is a goodbye, because especially if you're busy, because then you get those long slow cooked meals cooked in an hour. It's just magical. And then Friday for us is date night. So we usually go out to dinner, but we just want to make sure we have tacos or something for the kids to eat while we're gone. And then on Saturday, if you want chicken, that's the chicken day. But we, again, are going to have the dairy-free fettuccine Alfredo recipe that we're trying. And then on Sunday, we like an easy, fast-cooked day because it is a prep day. So I don't want to cook something in addition to what we're prepping. So that will be tacos and leftovers. So those are the main cooking days. And then let's kind of go to breakfast. I know we jump around on the meals. It seems like we should do breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But this is kind of good because then I know what days I'm cooking.
Breakfast is a little easier. I mean, it's
Breakfast
a little
is a piece
easier.
of cake, right?
Yeah.
So we have 5 days where we just are in a hurry and we don't have time to cook breakfast. So we have either a cold cereal, which is an organic cornflake cereal that we get at the natural food store, or we have oatmeal with almond milk and cinnamon, coconut, sugar, and honey. It's delicious. Sometimes nuts and sometimes berries. Just depends.
It's really good.
Yeah,
Really,
sometimes
really
we'll throw stuff in there. But so that's usually what we have. Monday through Friday, that's what we have. And then Saturday and Sunday, we have one of the days we usually have Swedish pancakes, which again, it's gluten-free, and there is a recipe on Transfer of Health for that. And we have an egg scramble typically too on Sunday. So, or we have brunch at the local cafe. Usually we have both. We usually eat breakfast and then we eat lunch. So let's go to lunches. It's nice to plan dinner before we plan lunches because then I know on Monday when I make the sausage that on Tuesday we're gonna have leftovers. Probably on Wednesday we're gonna have leftovers. So that's really what we're gonna have for lunch. So knowing what days I'm gonna cook what helps me know what days I'll have leftovers for lunch. So let's just kind of go through and see. So Tuesday and Wednesday leftovers. So on Monday lunch, we'll have sandwich. We get a gluten-free bread at Costco or Natural Grocers or somewhere. We're kind of back to the Costco bread right now because we like all the nuts and stuff in it, and it toasts up really nice. So we have the gluten-free bread and usually turkey slices or peanut butter and jelly. If we have turkey, then we have mustard and lettuce on it as well, or spinach on it as well. So that's what we'll have on Monday for lunch. On Tuesday, leftovers. Wednesday's leftovers. Thursday, let's see, the day before we have pasta. So on Thursday we will have leftovers again. We'll have leftover pasta from the night before, but that won't last more than one day. So Friday for lunch, we have roast on Thursday, and so we will have leftover roast on Friday and Saturday, and then on Sunday we go to brunch. So that is breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then again, we talked earlier about our snacks, and so we've got cut up vegetables. That is our most common snack. I would say that for every protein bar we have, there's 2 vegetables with it. Or every, sometimes we get some chips. We get these chips called Original Tings Crunchy Corn Sticks at the natural grocery store. Every time we go, we get 1 or 2 bags because we are in love with them. They taste like Cheetos, and they're flavored with nutritional yeast. So we get them all the time. They're made with corn, and they're gluten-free. So, but when we have something like that, we pair it with a couple cut-up vegetables. So again, our plan is not specific to what kind of vegetables we have, just that it could be the roasted vegetables that we make on the weekend. It could be, cucumbers cut up. We have cucumbers cut up every day with our lunch. And one thing that we do is, I know we leave town in the morning and we don't come back home until super late, but we have Dwayne, Miranda, and I, we each have a big bag that is, like mine's insulated, and it just has the day's food. So we have, 4 or 5 vegetables, little Ziploc bags of vegetables, and then we've got our main course, a side, so it might be a salad or rice, and then we have, and then a treat. So we'll have like a protein bar or a piece of dark chocolate or something like that. So that's really the best way to plan, I think, snacks and sides. Less specific, but more what's
the
around.
temptation of running to fast foods or something.
Hunger is the biggest sabotage to eating healthy, and it's the biggest sabotage to weight loss. It is absolutely the worst thing. So anything we can do with our planning, the biggest goal is don't go hungry and don't get desperate, so
have something to go to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I will post the meal plan that I just created. I will be posting today on the VIP meal plan website. So take a look at that if you want to. And it also includes a snack list. And we also have a list of staples, like what we typically have at any given point in time in our kitchen, in our fridge, in our pantry. So take a look at that as well. That helps a lot with the grocery planning. So I'm going to go ahead and move away from the meal planning template. Let's see. We did that. Shopping days. And then the other thing, too, is putting it on our schedule. So make sure that whatever the shopping days are that we put on our meal plan, that we put it on our actual schedule. Whatever days we have our exercise and fitness, that we put it on our schedule as well. Because if we just have this meal plan and then we have a schedule that actually drives our life, they're disconnected a little bit. So do you guys use a schedule or anything like that, or a day timer?
Yeah, I do use a day timer. And this is very good as far as
the goal worksheet.
The goal worksheet as far as the days, that helps.
Oh, good. Okay, so we'll put the calendar shopping days, the cooking days, and the workouts.
That as well.
You know what? That reminds me. Last night, Dwayne and I went to dinner, and we had a beet salad, and I said, this is our salad for the week. So I'm going to have to rethink this because I really want to make that beet salad. I'm going to add that instead. Beets look really good right now. Yeah, and so they were roasted and with the cover on it, so they weren't roasted open air, and so they weren't like, they were
so
moist.
A little bit
right.
steamed.
And, yeah. Right. And then they had a little bit of a balsamic drizzle on it.
Wow.
I know. And then they had like a little bit of greens on it, and pumpkin seeds. Gammy Dawn says, I'm in the chicken. Let's see here. This is my mom, and she's making chicken stock as well. Planted her leeks. The water info was awesome. Looking forward to the tortilla. I have my food ready for this week. Changed my food schedule so I could have garden time. That's awesome.
Oh, good.
Hey, try roasting it in coconut oil. Let's see here.
Roasting.
Yeah.
Roasting the vegetables in coconut oil?
Yeah, what it does for roasted cauliflower is amazing. So thank you. That's a great tip. We're totally going to try that.
Good idea.
So, okay, awesome. I bet it does add a really nice toasty kind of thing. and I'm glad you're having fun. So that's awesome. Okay, well, I'm just going to break away for just a second and run right back and bring my tortilla press. So this is my tortilla press. It is very inexpensive, and it just is a simple, just run-of-the-mill thing. And we're going to do this here at the table because this is where we're planning. But normally what I have is I have my 12-inch skillet on the stove, and I fry my tortillas in olive oil. Again, coconut oil might be a good choice. So this is my tortilla dough. So like I mentioned earlier, I have to make it, and it sits for an hour. And it's super, super simple. And see, it's just like kind of doughy, but it sticks together really nicely. And you want like a golf ball size piece of it. And then, okay, wait a minute here. I'm just going to use this piece of plastic. Now, when I watched the demo, but she used a piece of parchment paper, and oh my gosh, it just was so cumbersome. I was so frustrated, and I felt like I spent all day making tortillas. And it really seemed like, like families make them all the time. It shouldn't be so hard. But anyway, so you just put like a little piece down and press it, and oh yeah, sorry about that. Let me get it out of the way. So I just pressed it, and then I turn it. This might have been too small of a piece. But again, one thing that I finally did, the last time I made tortillas, I got really stressed out, like, oh my gosh, you have to be some kind of magician to make this happen. But the bottom line is you can make them like, see, this is too small, but who cares? It's still going to taste good. And
you can make them whatever size you want.
Yeah, and now if I press it really hard, this side is really thin, which is fine. But you just want to turn it around so that it's just all getting kind of nice and even. And
That's
then
beautiful. That is really cool.
And so I
Very
just
exciting.
And I just like it. Like it's just, it's just really fun. It's kind of fun. So we're gonna go ahead and run with that. And again, so right next to me would be my skillet, nice and hot, and it has to have oil in it, but not too much oil, because you imagine whatever oil is left over, it's going to be soaking into this, and you don't really want greasy tortillas. So you can see this peels off really nicely. Now on the website it says let gravity remove the tortilla. This is what it means. You don't want to like lift it off because it will tear apart, but you just want to let it.
That's beautiful.
See, like this kind of thing, I always forget that happens, but you just kind of want to go around the edge and just do it, because sometimes it just gets caught in one of those little buggers, but who cares? Again, it's like, look how pretty most of it is.
It's gorgeous.
See, it just wasn't
Good
rocket
job.
science, right?
Yeah.
So you just fry it on one side, fry it on the other.
You said in very little olive oil.
Right, but don't let it get dry, because if it gets dry, you know that your tortilla is magic when you put it on the thing and then the tortilla puffs up. And if you don't have enough oil, it will not puff up. If it doesn't puff up, it's still going to be probably a good tortilla. But look at how nice and thin this is. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just like a very beautiful tortilla.
Oh, wow.
So you want it, two things is you want it to puff up, and hi again. You want it to puff up, but you also don't want it to be all dry. And if there's not enough oil, like if you put it on one side, it's like, oh, it sucked up all the oil, and then you go to the other side and you don't add any. Even if you added too much oil to the other side, I would still add a tiny bit to the second side. Otherwise, that side is going to be all dried out. And the nice thing is I make, and again, we posted, the recipe is on Transfer of Health of what exactly goes into these tortillas. It's exactly the same recipe on the back of the Bob's Red Mill masa harina gluten-free bag of masa harina. And so it's not rocket science. It is exactly that same recipe. So we cook them up, and then we put them into a Ziploc bag with one paper towel in it. So I'll put a paper towel on the bottom of the Ziploc, and then I'll put once the tortilla's cool, I'll put them all on top of each other and store them in the fridge.
That's after you cook them.
After I cook them.
After you
So
cook them all.
so it's 2 cups of masa harina, and then 1.5 to 2 cups of hot water, and then we used a tablespoon of salt, which I haven't tasted it. It's a little bit salty, so probably like 1 to 2 teaspoons of salt. I add 1 teaspoon of salt and then a little bit more. Last time we didn't add enough salt, and so but that's too much. So 1 to 2 teaspoons of salt, and then and then let it sit for an hour, and then we cook them up, and we put them in the bag with the paper towel. And then right when we want to use them, so throughout the week, we're like, hey, let's have breakfast tacos. So we'll take out whatever tortillas we want to use, and we'll stick them, like we have a gas burner, and if you don't have a gas burner, and I know you don't have a gas burner, but if for us we have a gas burner, we could just throw it right on that flame of the burner and then just flip it, and so it gets nice and hot, kind of a little bit of burnt edges, which is really yummy. And then, but otherwise, just warm the pan back up and just do it dry. Just heat it right up like that. And once they're heated back up, they're nice and pliable. And then they do occasionally break as you wrap them around. I mean, without flour, it's pretty tough not to. And we will play with the recipe and see. But I like that they're so simple. So I would rather they just break than have to add, make this like more complicated recipe. But I would imagine if you added a little bit of tapioca flour or some kind of starchy flour, I bet it would hold the corn tortilla together better. But I like them like this. I think that they're fantastic. So anyway, have fun with your tortillas.
Cool. And that's 30 seconds on either side when you're cooking something like that.
Just
enough,
until I would say it's probably really close. And then I usually, I'm cooking 1 or 2 or 3 in my pan, and then, making them. Actually, I think I just cooked them one at a time, and it went so much faster. The first time I did it, I was trying to get all these different tortillas going, and I'm trying to make. I mean, where do you put 3 of these? So I guess you could put together some kind of system, but it was probably about 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like, I am making tortillas tonight. I'm not going to let this, it can't be that hard, right? And I just I don't even care if they're terrible. I talk to the family, I'm like, okay, everybody, you'll eat them if they're bad, right? Everybody's like, yep, we'll eat them if they're bad. And so I was like, okay, I'm making them. And I just did one at a time and just powered through. And I think it took me less time than when I had this big operation happening where I had all these
more
tortillas.
Relaxing too.
It was.
It was fun doing it.
It was, and I have to admit, I can still picture it now because The Bachelor was on, and it was the worst Bachelor in history, and everybody hated him. And it's so embarrassing that we watched that show, but it was the worst, and it was the finale, and so I was glad I was doing something else and not.
So you didn't have to sit there.
It was the worst. So thank you so much for joining us. Just to recap, we just reviewed our goals and celebrated our successes and made changes for improvement. We brainstormed where to shop for groceries. We revealed some cool recipes that we found. We enjoyed a fun little cooking demo. We broke out the main groups of our food for our meal plan, the different groups of foods that we wanted to make throughout the week that really, to me, defines my success anyway. And then we plotted the food and fitness plan and scheduled it on our calendars, right?
Yes.
So this is really fun. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for coming, you guys.
I always learn something. I always learn something. Thank you.
Aw, yay. Well, Michael Jordan once said, I failed over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. So hang in there.
Good job.
And never give up. This is your time, and so we're just right here by your side. Have a great week, and we will see you next Saturday.
Bye.